The History of Greece, Part 1. The Dawn of Western Civilization. The proper history of Western civilization begins in 776 BC. Local games in the town of Olympia become Pan-Hellenic. They're to be celebrated every fourth year. Participation is the difference between Greek and barbarian. The Western calendar uses the Olympiads for dating for the next 1,000 years. The only prize for the winners in the Olympian Games is a wreath of wild olive. This becomes the greatest honor in Greece. Other festivals are modeled on the Olympiads, like the Pythian, Nemean, and Isthmian. After Rome conquers Greece, the games degenerate into gladiatorial bloodbaths. The Pan-Hellenic spirit is fostered by the Amphictyonic Council. Initially, it focuses mostly on religious matters. Later, it settles interstate disputes, but never rises to a national parliament. It promotes peace by setting the boundaries of the states. Gradually, Sparta and Athens evolve as leaders of Greece. Their rivalry will prevent the rise of a Greek empire. This is where Lycurgus and Solon create important laws. The legislative initiatives pave the way for Western liberty. The city of Argos rises in Peloponnesus. It is the capital of a confederacy of free cities. They all worship Apollo. In 747 BC, King Phaedon rules as despot over the confederacy. He conquers Corinth and usurps the presidency of the 8th Olympiad. The Spartans intervene and defeat Argos. Sparta rises as master of Peloponnesus. Being descendants of the conquering Dorian warriors, they have just one ally, Crete. Sparta suffers ethnic tensions and from being ruled by two kings at the same time. This requires a new constitution. Lycurgus studies the laws of Crete, Egypt, and Ionia. He gives Sparta new laws. They are based on the informal rules that the people accept. 3 classes are established. Dorians are the ruling elite, Laconians are the majority, and the Helots are the slaves. Land and obligations are assigned by the law. The elite must focus only on military duties. The power of the dual monarchy is restricted to war. Legislative powers are vested in 2 assemblies. The Geronites, or old men, has 30 members, including the 2 kings. All male Spartans over the age of 30 vote on the laws proposed by the Geronites. 6 ephors, or magistrates, oversee the lawmaking. All exist to benefit the state. Individuality is suppressed, and sickly babies are left to die. At age 7, the boys are taken from home to be raised as soldiers. Severe treatment hardens the bodies in public schools. The same garment is worn winter and summer. Hunger, thirst, and exposure are endured without murmur. Spartan girls are raised almost as cruelly. All feeling must be eliminated. At 30, you become a man, but you still belong to the state. Spartans live in a communistic society. Even after you marry, you sleep in public barracks. You eat your tasteless meals in the company of 14 soldiers. You are released from military service if you survive to be 60. You sing and play the lyre only to prepare for battle. Luxury is forbidden. Equality is praised. Mothers give their sons shields with the inscription, "Return with it or on it." You don't grieve the death of a child if he died serving Sparta. There is one way to defeat Sparta. Destroy the last man. This collectivistic and materialistic culture catapults Sparta to its leading position in Greece. Sparta wages a war in 743 BC against a local rival. The Messenians are enslaved. A rebellion breaks in 685 BC. Sparta re-enslaves the Messenians in 668 BC. The last to resist was Tegea. In 560 BC, Sparta wins that war, but offers Tegea alliance instead of slavery. All commonwealths except Sparta abolish monarchy. An Archon, or elected nobleman, exercises royal authority. He rules in an oligarchy. Popular leaders challenge the status quo. They rise as tyrants or despots. Arbitrary power corrupts them. Some move to democracy. The last Athenian king, Codrus, sacrifices himself to save the city from the Dorian invaders. Archons replace the kings. 11 members of the Codrus family rule as archons. In 752 BC, the office is limited to 10 years. In 714 BC, any noble can become an Archon. In 683 BC, the office is limited to 1 year and shared by 9 men. Athens is now ruled by a committee of 9. Eponymus is the head of state. Basileus is the head of religion, and Polemarch is the army commander. There are 6 legislators, no written laws, and no established precedents. Arbitrary rule leads to anger. In 624 BC, Draco writes the first laws in Athens. All crimes deserve death. Violence and discontent rise. Revolution followed by plague. Lenders enslave borrowers. Civil war is about to start. Oligarchs panic, and Solon must reform Athens. In 594 BC, Solon became Archon with unlimited powers to make a new constitution. He abolishes Draco's laws. New classes are established based on property. Debts are cancelled, and money is debased. High offices are reserved for the wealthiest citizens. The poor don't pay income taxes. Military roles are set by class. Common people can't run for public offices, but get to vote. Archons can be prosecuted at the end of their term. An elite senate of 400 and a popular assembly check and balance each other. The ancient court of Areopagus is tasked with the supervision of the laws. Punishments are just and merciful. Thieves must return double the stolen. Slander is prohibited and immigration is encouraged. Fathers must teach sons useful trades. Those who remain neutral during civil unrest are disenfranchised. Solon grows old and dies. Pisistratus usurps the powers of the state 3 times. He keeps Solon's laws. Art and literature flourish. The first public library collects the Homeric poems. The tyrant dies in peace. His sons inherit supreme powers. One of the co-tyrants is killed. The other oppresses the people with taxes. The Spartans help to remove the tyrant. Clisthenes rises to power. His popular party is opposed by the nobles. The class structure is reorganized on territorial basis into 10 demes. Many residents become citizens. Each deme is self-governed. It has its magistrate, 50 senators, and 1 general. Power moves from archons to common people. Democracy allows ambitious citizens to use demagoguery and become despots. Clisthenes introduces a way to remove tyrants: ostracism. The Senate and the Assembly, or Ecclesia, decide if a citizen presents danger. Each citizen gets to write the name of a person they want banished for 10 years. Names are written on oyster shells, or ostracons. If you get 6,000 votes, you're out. Isagoras, backed by the nobles, asks Sparta for aid against Clisthenes. King Cleomenes marches into Attica and Clisthenes retires. Return to oligarchy angers the people who exile Isagoras. The Spartans leave and Clisthenes returns. The democratic constitution is firmly established. Athens seeks alliance with the satrap of Lydia. The Persian governor asks for earth and water as signs of submission. Athens proudly refuses. The Spartan alliance against Athens falls apart. Athens punishes its enemies. Sparta seeks new support against Athens and fails. Safe from oligarchical despotism, Athenian prestige rises in Greece. The spirit of freedom and individuality breeds local antagonisms. National unity is a mirage. Cooperation between the Greek states is possible only in the face of a common threat.